Hello. Welcome to the last podcast of Mia, chapters 9 and 10, your ultimate study companion for the Erasmus exams. Let's begin with agenda setting theory. This concept, brought to prominence by Bernard Cohen, emphasizes the media role in shaping what we think about. Cohen famously stated, "The press may not be successful much of the time in telling people what to think, but it is stunningly successful in telling its readers what to think about." This means that while the media may not control our opinions, it significantly influences the topic that we prioritize and discuss. Journalists and editors choose which stories to highlight, which images to show, and how to frame these stories, effectively setting the public agenda. Next, we explore the spiral of silence theory. Developed by Elizabeth Noel Newman, this theory delves into how fear of social isolation can suppress minority opinions. In essence, when people perceive their views as being in the minority, they often choose to stay silent to avoid social ostracism. The theory highlights 5 key dynamics: societal pressure for consensus, fear of isolation, monitoring others' opinion to gauge the dominant view. People express their opinion only when they feel supported. This creates a self-reinforcing spiral where dominant opinions become even more dominant. 3. Now let's turn our attention to cultivation theory, introduced by George Gerbner. This theory examines the long-term effect of television viewing on audiences. Perceptions of reality. Gerbner argued that heavy TV viewers are more likely to perceive the world in ways that reflect the most consistent messages from TV. One notable example is the mean world syndrome, where frequent exposure to violence on television leads viewers to believe the world is more dangerous than it actually is. Over the time, this shapes our social reality, impacting our fears, attitudes, and behaviors. Mediatization. Moving to mediatization, this concept describes how media becomes embedded in and influences various aspects of society. Mediatization isn't just about how we consume media. It's about how media reshapes communication, social interactions, and even our everyday behaviors. There are 4 categories to consider. Media extends communication across time and space, enabling global connectivity. Media replaces some face-to-face interactions like online banking or virtual meetings. Media coexists with our daily communication, blending with real-life conversations. Media logic shapes our attitudes and behaviors, influencing everything from politics to personal relationships. McLuhan's Global Village. Let's now explore Marshall McLuhan's iconic concept of the global village. McLuhan envisioned a world where electronics media collapses distances, bringing people closer together and creating a global community. According to McLuhan, commitment and participation are key. As global citizens, we are more engaged and responsible for one another. There's also an irrevocable involvement. Our lives are now deeply entwined with global events, thanks to media's far-reaching influence. Now, let's delve into dynamics of social media. Social media platforms have fundamentally changed how we consume information and connect with others. We'll focus on our 4 main elements: programmability, popularity, connectivity, and datification. Programmability refers to how algorithms shape the flow of content, influencing what we see and interact with. Popularity is quantified through likes, shares, and retweets, which boost content visibility and share what's trending. Connectivity links people to each other and to advertisers, creating a web of interactions and data exchange. Datification is the process of quantifying all digital activities, from what we watch to where we go, fueling the digital economy. Finally, let's talk about globalization and its impact on media. Globalization has interconnected the world's economies, cultures, and communication networks. Media plays a dual role. It's both a driver and a product of globalization. Key drivers include technology, innovation that enables instant communication, and money, the flow of international finances, and trade, which media conglomerates rely on. Media globalization shapes and and is shaped by economic, political, and cultural forces, influencing how we perceive and interact with the world. To go further into globalization, let's start with the segment 2. Media globalization involves several key processes. The internationalization of finance and trade, where media corporations operate across borders. The development of international organizations like the World Bank, which influences media production and distribution. 3. Increased migration and cultural exchange, impacting media consumption. And the rise of transactional NGOs that use media to advocate for social change. Now let's consider the implication of media globalization. It has led to significant social change by transforming how people access and engage with information. Media globalization also facilitates the spread of cultural, political, and economic ideas. But it's a complex interplay of technology, content regulation, and audience behavior. To wrap up, let's talk about 2 models of media power relations, actually 3 models. Cultural imperialism suggests that Western media dominance can erode local cultures. Through this model has been critiqued for underestimating audience agency. Cultural flows emphasizes bidirectional media exchange leading to cultural hybridization. And reception theory highlights that audiences actively interpret media, often resisting imposed values. Well, that was all for today. We've covered a lot of ground, from key media theories to complex dynamics of globalization, and I hope this really, really helps.